What if I told you these actors won an Emmy, a BAFTA, and an Oscar, and yet most people have no idea about the role that started it all? Today, we are counting down 15 British TV actors you will never see again. And number one on our list might genuinely shock you. Richard Griffiths. Let's start with a name many people know from the big screen. Richard Griffiths is remembered by millions of fans as Uncle Vernon Dursley in the Harry Potter films. But on British TV, he had a very different side. He played Inspector Henry Crabbe in Pie in the Sky, a detective who loved cooking just as much as solving crimes. The show ran from 1994 to 1997 on the BBC, and it was a huge hit. Griffiths brought warmth, humor, and great charm to every single episode. Off-screen, he was known as one of the kindest people in the business. Sadly, Richard Griffiths passed away in March 2013 at the age of 65. British TV lost a truly gentle giant that day. Michael Keating. Not every legend wears a cape. Some wear a spacesuit and hide behind the sofa. Michael Keating played Vila Restall in Blake's 7, a classic BBC science fiction series that ran from 1978 to 1981. Vila was the ship's thief, cowardly, funny, and somehow always lovable. Fans adored him. The show was low budget, but it had big ideas, and Keating's performance was a huge reason people kept watching. He also popped up in EastEnders and even Doctor Who over the years, proving he had real range as an actor. Blake's 7 was revolutionary for its time. It asked serious questions about power, freedom, and rebellion, wrapped inside a fun sci-fi adventure. Michael Keating helped make all of that feel real. He passed away in May 2026. A quiet legend of British television is now gone. Jean Marsh here is something most people do not know. Jean Marsh did not just star in one of Britain's greatest TV dramas. She helped create it. Upstairs, Downstairs was a landmark BBC period drama. It ran from 1971 to 1975, and it looked at life in a wealthy London household, from both the rich family upstairs and the servants downstairs. Jean Marsh played Rose Buck, a sharp and spirited housemaid. The show was so good that it won an Emmy Award, one of America's highest television honors. Marsh won it personally for her performance. That is not something every British actress can say. She co-created the show with fellow actress Eileen Atkins, which was a bold and brave thing to do in the 1970s. Women in television didn't often get that kind of power back then. Jean Marsh passed away in 2025. She leaves behind a show that changed British television forever. If you are enjoying this video, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to the channel. Paul O'Grady. Paul O'Grady was two people in one, and the British public loved both of them. He first became famous as Lily Savage, a loud, funny, sharp-tongued drag character that took British TV by storm in the 1990s. Lily appeared on chat shows, hosted Blankety Blank, and became one of the most recognizable faces on British television. The humor was cheeky, clever, and always entertaining. But then Paul O'Grady did something few people expected. He stepped out from behind the character and became himself, and the public loved him even more. His show, For the Love of Dogs, which aired on ITV, showed a completely different side. He visited Battersea dogs and cats' home and introduced viewers to rescue animals looking for a forever home. It was warm, funny, and genuinely moving. The show helped thousands of dogs get adopted. Paul O'Grady passed away in March 2023, aged 67. He made Britain laugh, and he made Britain care. That is a rare and special gift. Rik Mayall. If you want to understand British comedy, you have to understand Rik Mayall. In 1982, he exploded onto screens in The Young Ones, a wild, anarchic, completely bonkers sitcom about four students sharing a house. His character Rick was loud, self-important, and absolutely hilarious. The show broke every rule of British TV comedy and people went crazy for it. But Mayall didn't stop there. He played Lord Flashheart in Blackadder, a 2-episode guest role that became legendary. His performance was so funny, so perfectly over the top, that it still makes people laugh out loud today. Then came The New Statesman, where he played Alan Bastard, a corrupt, scheming, wildly ridiculous politician. It was sharp satire wrapped in brilliant comedy. The show ran from 1987 to 1992 and was a massive hit. Rik Mayall was also known for being incredibly kind and generous in real life, despite playing so many outrageous characters on screen. He passed away suddenly in June 2014, aged just 56. British comedy has never fully filled that gap. Patricia Routledge. Some actors play one role so perfectly that the character becomes more famous than the actor themselves. That is exactly what happened with Patricia Routledge. She played Hyacinth Bucket in Keeping Up Appearances, a snobbish, socially ambitious housewife who insisted her surname was pronounced Bouquet. The show aired on BBC One from 1990 to 1995 and became one of the most watched sitcoms in British television history. It was exported to dozens of countries around the world. What made the show so brilliant was how perfectly Routledge understood her character. Hyacinth was annoying, embarrassing, and completely unaware of how she came across. But Routledge played her with such sharp precision that she was also deeply funny and even a little bit lovable. The physical comedy alone was extraordinary. Every facial expression, every dramatic pause, every moment of outraged dignity, all perfectly timed. Patricia Routledge did not pass away. She made a personal choice to step away from the screen and live a quiet, private life. And that decision deserves nothing but respect. She gave British TV one of its most iconic comedy characters. The world owes Hyacinth Bouquet, a great deal. Sir Michael Gambon. Most people know Sir Michael Gambon as Albus Dumbledore from the Harry Potter films. But long before Hogwarts, he delivered what many critics still call one of the greatest television performances in British history. In 1986, the BBC broadcast The Singing Detective, a deeply unusual, brilliant, and sometimes uncomfortable drama written by Dennis Potter. Gambon played Philip Marlowe, a crime writer stuck in a hospital bed with a severe skin condition, drifting between reality, memory, and the hard-boiled detective stories in his own head. It sounds strange. It was strange, and it was absolutely extraordinary. The performance required Gambon to carry almost every scene, often in physical pain, with nothing but his face and his voice to express enormous emotional depth. Critics gave it 5 stars. Television historians still discuss it today as a landmark moment in British drama. The show mixed music, fantasy, mystery, and heartbreak in a way that had never been done before on TV. It changed what people thought television drama could actually be. Sir Michael Gambon passed away in September 2023, aged 82. He was knighted for his services to drama. Every honor he ever received was fully deserved. When people ask what British television can do at its very best, The Singing Detective is always the answer. Prunella Scales. Her name might not ring a bell immediately, but say 2 words, Fawlty Towers, and everything changes. Prunella Scales played Sybil Fawlty opposite John Cleese in what is widely considered one of the greatest sitcoms ever made. Fawlty Towers only ran for 12 episodes across 2 series, in 1975 and 1979, just 12 episodes. And yet it is still talked about, studied, and quoted more than 40 years later. Sybil was the perfect comedic partner for the manic, rage-filled Basil Fawlty. She was sharp, domineering, and brilliantly funny. Her distinctive voice, part nagging, part triumphant, became one of the most recognizable sounds in British comedy. What many people do not know is that Prunella Scales had a long, rich career beyond Fawlty Towers. She appeared in stage productions, films, and television dramas for decades. She starred in the BBC series After Henry and many other projects. Sadly, Prunella Scales has stepped away from the screen due to her battle with Alzheimer's disease. She has spoken openly about her diagnosis, and her husband, the actor Timothy West, has also talked publicly about caring for her with love and dedication. She is not gone, but she will not be returning to our screens. Her contribution to British television is priceless. 12 episodes that lasted forever. Robbie Coltrane. Robbie Coltrane is loved worldwide as Rubeus Hagrid in the Harry Potter films. His enormous warmth and presence made Hagrid one of the most beloved characters in cinema history. But on British television, he achieved something even more remarkable. He starred in Cracker, an ITV crime drama that ran from 1993 to 1996. He played Dr. Edward Fitzgerald, a criminal psychologist who helped the police solve murders. Fitz was brilliant, but deeply flawed, addicted to gambling, difficult in relationships, always brutally honest, even when honesty hurt. Coltrane won 3 consecutive BAFTA awards for the role, 3 in a row. That had never happened before for a single actor in a single drama series. It has rarely happened since. The show itself was groundbreaking. It tackled difficult subjects, including violence, prejudice, and mental health, with honesty and intelligence. It did not look away from the darker parts of human nature, and Coltrane's performance was the engine that made every episode work. Cracker is still studied in film and television schools today. It is considered one of the finest examples of British crime drama ever produced. Robbie Coltrane passed away in October 2022, aged 72. He left behind 2 extraordinary legacies, one magical, one gritty, and both of them equally unforgettable. British television will not see another Fitz, and cinema will not see another Hagrid. Some people are truly irreplaceable. Dame Maggie Smith. There are great actors, there are legendary actors, and then there is Dame Maggie Smith. Her career in British television reached its peak for a whole new generation with Downton Abbey, the ITV period drama that became a global phenomenon. The show ran from 2010 to 2015 and then continued as a film series. It was set in a grand English country house in the early 20th century and followed both the aristocratic family and their servants through decades of change. Maggie Smith played Violet Crawley, the Dowager Countess of Grantham, and she was sensational. Every line she delivered was like a perfectly aimed arrow, sharp, witty, devastating. Her one-liners became instantly famous around the world. Lines like, "What is a weekend?" delivered with perfect aristocratic confusion, made audiences everywhere burst out laughing. But behind the comedy, there was real depth. Violet was proud, fiercely loyal to her family, and struggling to understand a world that was changing faster than she could manage. Maggie Smith played all of that with extraordinary skill. What many people forget is that she was already a legend long before Downton. She won 2 Academy Awards, one in 1969 for the prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and one in 1978 for California Suite. She was nominated 6 more times. She also won multiple BAFTA awards and was made a dame by the Queen. Maggie Smith passed away in September 2024, aged 89. She was, quite simply, one of the greatest actors Britain, or the world, has ever produced. These incredible talents shaped British television in ways that will last forever. Some are gone too soon. Some chose to step away with grace. But every single one of them gave us something to treasure. If this video brought back a favorite memory, let us know in the comments below. See you next time.